Why the pressure on the dollar and kind of nothing else?
I think the market has never cared that. The equity market has never cared that much about healthcare. The country cares about it, politicians care about it, but the equity market does not. And any conclusion to healthcare, whether that's passage of a bill or moving on from it, I think is good, because it's good for the prospect of tax reform, which is what the market really cares about. Any sign that tax reform is not going to happen, I think there's air under this market. But if tax reform does come through, then I think we're back to the stocks that worked immediately after the election, the reflation trade, the Trump trade, which is not what drove the market in the first half of the year. So I think it's time to start thinking about rotating back into some of those Trump stocks, because I think this does bring tax cuts, tax reform forward.
Magnitude's important, though.
Magnitude?
Yeah, in terms of how big it's actually going to be. At the start of the year, there were some pretty optimistic views on what we could get from DC.
Yeah.
In terms of the actual size of tax cuts now, you must be pretty pessimistic compared to how you felt 6 months ago.
Yeah, well, no, yes and no. I think it's more likely to be a tax cut rather than major tax reform. I never thought that the 15% headline rate that was part of Trump's plan was in the cards. I didn't even think that the congressional plan of 20% was in the cards. But I think something in the mid to high 20s, which for a company that's paying a fully loaded federal and state tax rate of 39, 40%, which are going to be the more domestic-facing companies, some of the smaller cap companies, those stocks will benefit meaningfully, even with a tax rate that comes out, not quite as low as we originally hoped for.